Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be talking about the worst flight I have ever been on. Basically, I popped a bar and ate a whole sheet of Benadryl before my flight, and today I'm going to be telling y'all the story time about tweaking out on the fucking plane. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So this was actually, for context, my second time ever taking xans, and it happened about a month ago. I had a flight to go see my dad, and I thought it would be a pretty chill trip, which it was. Like the trip was nice, but the first flight was horrible. I definitely wasn't expecting to eat a fuck ton of Benadryl, and spend the flight feeling like shit. But yeah, so it all happened in the morning. We My stepdad ended up taking me to the airport because I didn't want to pay to leave my car that parked there for the whole trip. So yeah, we probably left around 8 in the morning. And since we live pretty far from the airport, it was about an hour long drive. Now, I decided to pregame the drive a little bit. Right before we left, I popped a bar and my stepdad had asked if I was ready. I said yeah and swallowed it immediately because I didn't want to deal with the nasty fucking taste. Whatever it is, like the alprazolam, I think, that makes it just taste like fucking shit. Um, but yeah, so he asked me if I was ready. I swallowed it and I ended up just walking out to the car, threw my shit in the back. I only brought one suitcase, didn't even bring a backpack because I don't really pack too heavy. I just bring clothes and my phone. But yeah, ended up throwing my stuff in the back, sat on my phone for the whole ride, and honestly, the drive flew by. I was just watching Goblin and listening to music. And yeah, the bar was chilling me out, but I didn't really feel it at all on the drive until I until we got to the airport. So we park up at the airport because he had to end up coming in with me, which we'll get into later. But yeah, like I said, I kind of felt sober for most of the ride, but it changed the second we got to the airport when I reached for my door handle. It hit me. And the best way I can describe it is that everything felt heavy. It was like my arms were moving in slow motion, and when I stood up, that feeling spread through my whole body. And it it felt like slow motion, like I said, but not like I was weak, more like I was heavy and just slowed down. Like I was kind of just like on half speed, if that makes sense. But yeah, like I said earlier, my stepdad had to come inside with me and get me checked in, um, and stay with me like until my flight took off. So yeah, we made our way through the airport, and walking just felt like a little weird. I wasn't stumbling or anything. There was actually like a few times I like stumbled and tripped up over my legs, but everything kind of just felt like a little slower and heavier than normal, but definitely not as bad as like walking while I'm drunk. So yeah, we end up making our way through the airport, slowly get through TSA, and I started hanging out near my gate. We got through the airport and he was just waiting. I hadn't eaten all day, or all morning, as I should say, but I did have 50 bucks in my pocket for the whole trip. Keep in mind, I just brought a 50 because I wasn't trying to spend that much money. Um, but yeah, I ended up spending it all basically because I was fucking barred out. And when you're barred with money, it's just a disaster. Honestly, I make some of the dumbest decisions imaginable when I'm barred, as usual. And that's exactly how I ended up buying a box of Benadryl without thinking about it twice. Now, I didn't go into the airport thinking I was gonna like buy Benadryl and mix it. I wish I didn't, but before that though, I grabbed some Panda Express because I hadn't eaten all morning. I got beef and broccoli with chow mein because that's the best combo they have. Fuck orange chicken, beef and broccoli, way better, way, way better. I ended up grabbing a Diet Coke as well, no ice, because that's how I like it. But yeah, looking back, um, honestly, like I said earlier, I don't know where the idea of mixing Benadryl and Xanax came from. I think I just went into like one of the pop-up shops they have there, like mainly I think this one was for snacks, but they ended up having Benadryl. So yeah, I don't know where the idea came from. I just remember standing at the checkout buying it like it was the most normal thing in the world. So my flight was already boarding by the time I left the store. I hadn't even seen, but my stepdad texted me like that everyone was boarding. So as soon as I got to my gate, I just said goodbye to my stepdad and headed straight into the plane. Um but yeah, I was as I was walking, my bag got caught like on the little ramp, like the little I don't know. It got caught when I was like actually walking onto the plane from the airport. So yeah, I get into the plane after like catching my bag. Um, walk down. I was sitting towards the end of the plane, so I just found my seat, threw my bag in the overhead compartment, sat down, and this is where things like started to go downhill a little bit because the dude next to me immediately as I sat down just started a war over the middle armrest. I like kind of just put my arm there naturally and he just like nudged it off and he was a big guy. Oh, excuse me. He was a big guy, so I pretty much just had to let him have it. And when I say big, I mean he was like a little more on the fat side, which nothing wrong with that, but yeah, it was annoying because the dude was basically like spilling into my seat. So, yeah, it wasn't off to a good start to say the least. But yeah, I was pretty annoyed, but as I'm sitting there like low key pissed off, I reach into my pockets to grab my phone. I check my hoodie pockets first, which is weird because I never have my phone in my hoodie pockets. Check the left one, nothing's in there as usual. Then I check my right one, and that's when I felt the Benadryl. I had honestly forgot I even bought it, but the second I felt it, I stood up without even thinking and beelined, I mean speed walked like straight to the bathroom. I swear I moved faster than I had all day, and that's probably the fastest I did move that whole day. Um, but yeah, I walked down the aisle, get in the bathroom. I got inside, ripped the package open, and just started slamming them. And before I knew it, I had killed the entire sheet. Um, I finish up, throw my trash away, wash my hands, and just walked down the aisle, went back to my seat. Um, and yeah, I settled in, tried to get comfortable, and I just snuggled up kind of like on the far side because I had the aisle seat. So I just snuggled up as close to the aisle as I could and just tried to chill. But yeah, this is when the plane like started moving. So they like I was kind of like chilling in my seat waiting for the plane to start moving and it moved shortly after. We were like driving around on the runway until we took off. So yeah, at this point, I was looking outside the window because I like watching the plane take off and land. I like seeing all like the cool like scenery, if that makes sense. But as I was looking at the window, the Zan like had me really relaxed, and I kind of drifted off for a little bit after the flight had taken off. Like this is past when it took off, but I wasn't fully asleep. Um, I kind of was just like sitting there with my eyes closed, just like I don't know. I wasn't fully asleep, but I wasn't fully awake either. But yeah, I kind of like woke up from that state like 30 minutes later, I would say, and the Benadryl had kicked in and it hit hard. I got like insanely restless and I couldn't get comfortable, excuse me, no matter what I did. Um, but I remember like leaning forward and putting my head against the seat in front of me like while I was listening to music because I was just tweaking. Like I oh my gosh. This is honestly probably top 3 worst combos I've ever done. But yeah. Oh, also, little context. I was listening to House of Balloons, The Weeknd's first album. 'Cause, dude, I'm at the airport. Like, I'm just chilling. I got my full sweatsuit on, you know. So, you gotta throw some calm on for the airport. But yeah, I spent basically the next half hour just sitting there and tweaking in my seat out of my fucking mind. I was trying to chill out, like, but I was completely like uncomfortable. The Benadryl just like had me like restless and this like I don't know. The weird part was that the Xanax like and Benadryl like it felt like they were like fighting against each other. The Xanax like wanted me to relax while the Benadryl had me feeling restless and uncomfortable. It was just an awful combination. Eventually, I gave up, closed my eyes, and actually fell asleep. But the next thing I remember is waking up to some turbulence, you know, after I had heard the chime go off, and over like the speakers, I heard like um the flight attendants telling everyone to like keep their seatbelts fastened because we were preparing to land. And I heard the announcement like nobody can use the lavatory anymore. So basically, just no one can go to the bathroom anymore for the next 15 minutes while they like prepare to land. But yeah, at this point, I had a pretty bad headache, and I wasn't like tweaking anymore, like mentally that the Benadryl wasn't like fucking me up, but I did have a raging headache. But yeah, and it low key just got worse. When we landed, I kind of was just like fed up, so I just grabbed my shit and got off the plane because like since I had such little stuff with me, I kind of just like cut through everyone, which you're not supposed to do, but like I got off so fast that I didn't really like cause a disturbance in the flow. So it wasn't that deep, but yeah. Um at this point I wasn't like or okay, so when my dad picked me up, I wasn't really like too high anymore. I just felt like shit and had a headache. But yeah, my dad picked me up, and we drove home, and it was a long drive there, to his house. But thankfully, by the time we got there, I was starting to feel a little better. My headache had gotten better, and now at this point, I just mainly felt tired and drained. But the annoying part was, like, just having to go into the house and, like, say hi to everyone and talk to everyone. Like, I love the family and I love the trip, conversating and seeing everyone, but it was, like, when I felt like shit, it was kinda, like, just hard, but eventually I went upstairs to my room, just chilled out for the rest of the day, and yeah. That's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the story time of my worst flight ever. Mixing Xanax and Benadryl was honestly not enjoyable at all. Please don't do that shit. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.